Sometimes using tabs to hang a quilt adds a nice decorative finishing detail. My method allows the end user of the quilt the choice to have the tabs hanging up and be seen with a decorative rod going through them, or you could temporarily pin or permanently sew them down to the back of the quilt and then run a dowel through them that can't be seen as it hangs. First, you will want to make the tabs by any method you choose. I like the finished tab to be about 1 inch wide by 3 inches long. So I started with cutting a strip 2.5 inches wide by 12 inches long. That way I can make two 6-inch tabs that I can fold in half to have a finished tab of 3 inches long. You will need to multiply that by the amount of tabs that you need. So here are my two tabs. I have finished them with a top stitch on either edge, and now I fold that 6-inch strip in half to make it a 3-inch tab. I line the raw edges up along the raw edge of the top on the back of my quilt. Now I measure in from the edge 2.5 inches to the outside edge of that tab, and now I'm finishing my binding over that tab. So I pin that in place and then go to the other tab and do the same thing. I'll measure in the same distance, which is about 2.5 inches from the edge of the quilt, and then lay my binding strip over the tab and pin it in place. Now you could also finish your binding on the bottom edge of the quilt, and then you wouldn't have to do this finishing technique here. Here I have joined the ends of the binding, which you can learn how to do by another tip that I have on my website on how to finish binding. But it's completed, and now what we want to do is fold this over to the front. I'm finishing my binding by machine, so I have put my binding on the back of the quilt with the tabs in place, and now I will go back to the machine and top stitch the binding down. So here is the finished binding with the top stitching done, and the tabs are in place. You can see they were sewn in tightly with the binding. And now you have a choice of either pinning or tacking those tabs down in the back to have a hidden rod, or by folding them up so they can be seen and hang a decorative rod through them. And that is a very simple way to put a finishing touch on your quilt and the ability to hang it.